we're here with Tove Lo. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, so can I ask you this right quick? Do you get mad when people say Tove Lo as opposed to like Tove Lo?
Oh, you said it so good.
See?
No, I don't. I've kind of gotten so used to it because literally everywhere in the world except Sweden, it's Tove Lo. Like, it's just how people say it, like, naturally. And so I kind of tried for the first 6 months to correct everyone. And then I was like, maybe this is just like Tove Lo is my artist name and I should accept that. And then Tove Lo would be like the nickname I've had since I was 3 years old. And that's fine. So I kind of see it like that now. But I switch it up. Sometimes I'm like, hey, it's Tove Lo. And everyone's like, have I been saying it wrong? And I'm like, no, you're fine.
Because I think you were here a couple of weeks ago and I was like, they were like, oh, Tove Lo. And I was like, no, Tove Lo was here,
yes.
right? And they were like, what? And I was like, no, that's her name.
Yeah.
You guys have been saying it incorrectly.
I appreciate it.
Listen, Tove, I've been rocking with you for a minute. We just talked about how I remember interviewing you. We were in Austin for your South by performance. It was so good. I've been such a fan. I still rock with habits and talking body as I'm driving to work every day.
Yes.
You've been away for a minute. Where have you been?
Well, I've been making music. No, here we go. See how bad that is? I just wrote.
So we were talking about handwritings earlier, and I don't think that this is bad at all. Do you think that this is bad? No, it's not bad at all.
Thank you so much. No, but I've been for the last 2 years. Yeah, I haven't put anything out in 2 years, which is rare for me, obviously. But I've just been writing music. Well, not for the first year of the pandemic. I was not feeling inspired at all. I was just literally doing nothing, climbing the walls. And then I went and shot a movie in Sweden.
Nice.
Yeah, it was my first acting role. That was really cool. And when I came back from that and the world was kind of starting to open up a little bit, I started feeling inspired again. And so then I've been just working on music all of 2021. And here we are now.
Yes, here we are.
It's coming out.
Well, I feel like you're extremely talented. I'm super
Thank
excited
you.
that you're back. By the way, it's really interesting because I feel like I talked to a lot of artists and it was either one or the other back in 2020. Either you were fully inspired to make music or number two, you just didn't have it in you.
No.
And I think I would be that person because I feel like back in 2020, I was just so depressed.
Yeah.
I was so lonely.
Yeah.
And it's like, how could you write music when there's not necessarily anything going on in your life, if that makes sense?
No, I totally agree. And I think it's so, because I write from a lot of like, I use a lot of my moments of being like depressed or down or like going through something hard as inspiration for my music. But 2020 was a different feeling. It was just not, I couldn't feed off anyone's energy. It was just this kind of like, I don't know. It was strange. There was so much else going on that I felt that what I'm saying right now doesn't resonate even with myself.
Really?
So yeah, I just felt it was like a little bit for me a time to just kind of like sit back and listen and pay attention. And so I did that.
Why do you feel like it didn't resonate?
Just because I don't know, I guess because I couldn't, I don't know. I like, to me personally, like what I, usually write about, which is just like me and my life, wasn't really, I just felt lost. And I guess I just didn't really feel like my personal kind of, like the way that I write is kind of like a journal, right? So my kind of own lyrics or my own words they just felt out of place somehow for me. And I was like, is this really how I'm feeling? I can't really grasp where I'm at right now. So I just kind of left it. And yeah.
So let me ask you this. At what point did you turn the corner? Because, you did start writing again. At what point in your life, or I guess during 2021, you started writing again?
Yeah.
What was the inspiration that hit?
I think it might have been, shooting this movie and being completely out of my comfort zone, with all new people, not knowing anybody, kind of taking on this challenge that I didn't feel comfortable in, but just really try to do my best. And, that was all I could do. And not thinking about music for the first time in 10 years, that might have given me some new inspiration. Just like a new experience, I think in general, just kind of helps that. And I was playing it was about it was like in the 1850s, like a million Swedes migrated to America. And I played one of the characters who was like prostitute in a small village who was a drunk who had a teenage daughter who needed a better life. And I don't know, maybe like playing a woman at that time in a completely different era in Sweden. I don't know. The album is definitely not about that.
Right. But you were saying like doing
taking
something
me out of me. Yeah.
Right. Was it hard being out of that comfort zone though?
Yeah.
Scary?
Yeah, it was scary. And I realized too, I think it was for in some way everything happening now, it feels like everything is happening for the first time again for me. Like, and I just started my own label. I'm putting out my music on my own label now, and that is a first. And I feel like this No Dies From Love and this new release feels like a first. It's kind of this new journey that's that I know I've done before, but it just feels new, and it makes me nervous and excited. And I think doing that movie reminded me of that feeling. So yeah, but it was hard. I remember I got social anxiety. I was like, do they like me? Am I even good at this? I don't know.
Right.
Are they happy with like,
because you're not an actress, and it's
exactly.
like how am I doing this correctly?
Yeah.
Are they going to tell me if I'm doing this correctly? That would drive me insane.
Yeah.
But they say if you are not uncomfortable, you're not going to continue to grow, if that makes sense.
It's very true.
I just want to be comfortable at all stages because don't you hate the feeling of knowing that this is what you have to do to grow?
Yeah.
But the feeling that you get, the nervousness, the uncomfortable of it all makes you want to turn around and run in the opposite direction.
Completely.
How do you keep going when you feel like that?
I guess it's at the same time as it makes me uncomfortable and I can, should I have done this? Like, I don't know, like I'm in over my head. Every time I come out of that, I feel like I'm so alive. So there's that combination of like, it needs to hurt a little bit and be a little bit of a struggle to creatively to make you grow in everything. I think as a person, in your art, in your like expression, everything. So, and I don't know what exactly that movie did to me, but I think I've like written some of my best songs ever. Now.
It's almost like it triggered another creative part in your body.
Yeah.
Reinvigorated you, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
totally.
Did your septum hurt?
This one? Oh,
Yeah.
it's fake.
Oh, it's so funny because I have a nose ring,
But I want to get the one that you have, like on the one nostril. Did that hurt?
not one bit.
Really? Great. Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Literally, if you're gonna be in LA for a minute, I went to this place in Studio City, and
that's close to where I live. Great. Yeah.
You live out here?
I live out here now. Yeah.
Can we go get like brunch or something, or
Yes,
go on a hike or something? Like, I would
yes.
love.
Let's do it. I would love to.
But there's this place in Studio City, and before he even finished, he was like, "All right, just about to put the jewelry in, and it's done." He didn't even tell me when he was doing it, and all you feel is the pressure. It doesn't hurt,
Yeah.
and then your eye starts to water, and then it's over.
Amazing. I'm gonna do it because I wanted to do it, but then it was like pandemic. It wasn't really the time to go do it. But now, I mean, it's time. I've always wanted to get on the side because one of my friends got through the nose and she's like, I always have a cold. Like it fucks up with my singing. Like it just kind of like that it bothered her too much. I was like, okay, maybe I'll just do the side one.
Yeah, because
this one's supposed to hurt.
They say
lot.
it
yeah.
hurts, and I wanted to get it done, but I don't know if I'm built like that. I
know I have a bunch
that.
of tattoos, but the face feels different.
Absolutely. How many? Do you have a lot of earrings in your ears, or just one?
2 here. I have one more here. I have two on both, but right now I just have the one earring in. But yeah, I don't have anything up here.
Yeah, I feel like that would hurt.
Yeah, I think so too.
I just have this, and that, but it was easy.
I love piercings though; it looks cool.
Me too. Yeah. If I had it in me between you and I would get, if you know what I mean. These pierced.
Yeah.
But I don't have it in me.
I don't have that in me either. No.
All right, quick. So you just performed your first show in over 2 years. How did that feel? Tell me the whole feeling. You're getting out on stage. You're about to perform. Take me back to that and describe the feeling to me.
It was so surreal. And then I was also very sort of impressed and proud of me and my band and my crew and the crowd. Like, it was just like, it's like we've done nothing else. Like, we're all back here together. But I got so emotional on stage many times, playing both old songs and new songs, and it just, yeah, it was very emotional in a great way.
I was about to say, why do you feel like it's emotional? Is it because people are coming out to see you? People are singing the words? How does that
Yeah,
feel?
I think the combination of realizing that something that was such a huge part of my life for so many years was just missing for 2 whole years, that without, and then obviously that was the case for many people. And but I guess I was trying very much during the pandemic to be like, you're lucky, don't think about this, you're lucky, you're lucky, you're lucky. So then so I didn't really like let myself feel myself missing that part of me and my artistry. And so getting to feel that feeling and the adrenaline it gives me, and the happiness, and that it's a place where I can just let out all of my feelings for an hour and a half was just very special. And that's why I think it just like became this like, I really miss this.
Yeah,
like I can't believe I've been going so long without this, and just seeing the like faces of my fans. And there's a lot of fans that I like that come to a lot of my shows. They were all front row, and I'm just like, you're still here.
Yeah.
And they were singing every song to the new songs as well, every word to the new songs as well. And that was also just very special. And yeah, it was great.
Did you ever get out on stage and you're out there and you're singing and you see people smiling and just having a good time? Do you ever say to yourself, wow, these people really rock with me? Like I can't believe it.
Yeah. I feel this real connection with a lot of my fans, and I'm like, oh, you get me and I get you. And I don't know, because the only time we interact is maybe on social media, or like I meet them after the show and like we hug, and you have like 30 seconds to talk before it's like, oh, next person, you kind of, but there's this just bond. And I just think, I guess for me, because my lyrics are so personal, so if you relate to them and get them and feel them, then we're gonna connect.
How's that energy exchange?
It's I mean, it's beautiful to me. Like whenever someone says like, oh, you put words to my feelings, or your songs help me through so much, or help me accept myself, like that means the world to me. So yeah.
And I'm sure that that's not even the intent. It's you just going through your emotions and your feelings and how you're feeling. And, and the fact that people can relate to it as an artist, that has to be like the ultimate prize.
Yeah. I think that's like what, it's like like what you're saying. When I'm writing something that I need to get out of my system. I'm almost like writing for me, but then knowing that it will hopefully resonate and like give people life, that is also, an amazing feeling when that happens.
Did you feel like going back and performing after 2 years, was that like getting on a bike and riding it? Or were you just like, oh my gosh, can I do this? Will I do it correctly?
I felt like that before going out on stage, but then once I was out there and like, I don't know, I feed so much off the energy of the crowd. So when they were so just giving me everything they had, I was like, oh, okay, I got this.
Right.
I just need to do this with you guys and we'll be fine.
Yeah. I think that would be the best feeling as an artist, to have your people in front. And I always tell myself, when you spend money to buy a ticket for someone's show, you don't want to see them mess up. You don't want to see them do a bad job. And or you're not buying that ticket to like heckle them, if that makes sense.
No,
so
exactly.
you are there because you want to be there, right?
Yeah.
And there has to be no better feeling to know that those people came there to see you.
Oh, for sure.
Perform.
And they're waiting out there all day, and just, they've prepared signs and they got sparkly makeup, and it's just like this, this is a night that we're going to share together. And I really, there's, to me, if I feel like I did a bad performance, I'm so mad at myself, because I feel like I didn't give them everything that they deserve for like making their way there, buying a ticket, like, they're listening to my music. They're the whole reason I can do any of it. So I have to, it's my job to make sure that they get a show that they're like, that was exactly what I wanted and more,
It's funny because I'm sure in your head you probably think, oh my gosh, this was a terrible show. But for them, they're having the time of their lives.
Yeah. And I think that's like trying to, again, not be too hard on myself, but still also pushing myself to be able to to be a good performer. You know?
Tell me about the song "No One Dies from Love."
Yes. Well, this is the only song I wrote in 2020, but it was in January 2020.
Oh, and everything was popping.
Everything was
We thought that was going to be a good year.
We're ready for the new decade. Let's go.
Jokes
and
on
the
us.
world is like,
You're right. Right.
Not happening.
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Very much that. No, but it was cool because basically I was in Malibu writing with Ludwig Söderberg, who I've done. He's been my like ride or die since day one. He's done, all the way back to Love Ballad, Habits, Talking Body, Cool Girl, Disco Tits, all of them, And we had 3 weeks together. And usually when we write for 3 weeks, you get like 5 or 6 songs out of it at least. And we only wrote this song. And in between that, we were talking, walking on the beach, crying, drinking. Like we're both going through it in like different ways.
I love it.
And I remember he just said to me, just as we were talking, he's like, I feel like I'm actually gonna like die from this. Like I'm not gonna recover from this. And I was like, that's the fear though, but you always do. Like you always somehow piece yourself back together, even if a little part's missing. And then I was like, but that part, is that the love from the person? Like where does the love go when you break up? Like what happens to it? Like is it, do you just like generate new love for a new person? Or do you have a certain amount of love that you can give? Like we're talking about that for ages. And I think when he said like, I feel like I'm going to die from this, I'm like, well, it's love. And then that kind of spiraled the lyric idea. But yeah, we worked on it for 3 weeks. And once it was done, I was like, oh, I can't wait to put this out for the summer, like during all the summer festivals that we're going to do this year.
Nice.
And then I held on to it for 2 years.
And now,
here we are now.
And here you are presenting it to people.
Yes,
and
as it's all happening. Yeah.
Do you get super anxiety written or anxiety at all before you put out a song?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
How come?
Because it's like, to me, you pour your heart and soul into something and all you can do is your best, right? And I always try to push myself to do something new or that feels new for me, or we like take it into a new world. Even though I wanted to always be vulnerable and like personal, I feel like it's like, okay, the lyrics are so kind of emotional and sad. Still wanted people to be able to dance and cry to it at the same time. So let's like, let it be that like kind of build up suspense until you actually get the dance moment, like all the details that you go through and twist and turn in your mind. So then when you put it out, if my fans are like, it's pretty good, you're kind of like, but I put everything, and you can't like. It's just taste, right? It's just like sometimes it resonates with people, sometimes it doesn't. So you just have to do what you feel and think is best, and then hope for the best. Really,
just put it out there.
Put it out there.
You kind of just have to let go after a certain point.
You have to let go and let the song have its own life.
Right. So I feel like with this song right here, this is a stamp that that you're back, you're doing your thing. What comes after that? Is there a new album or no?
There is a new album coming in the fall.
Okay.
I'll be putting out music during the summer. And yeah, it'll be more songs to cry to, more songs to dance to. Yeah.
I love when you can listen to an album and you can get a variety of emotions. Because I am an emotional Pisces. And I love to be in my feelings, especially like driving to the beach, listening to songs, just like, God damn it. Crying.
You start seeing the ocean and just one tear starts. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm totally the same.
We're both dramatic as hell. That is me. Just one single tear. Listening to music while by the ocean.
I have to explain that to people in my life. I'm like, I'm crying. It's got nothing to do with any of you. I'm just going through this, and just let me be.
Let me be. Let me do my thing.
Yes.
What else are you working on?
Well, it's kind of been my whole focus right now. Like I've been, I'm literally like approving masters and mixes as we go. Working on my album, putting together the show. I'm going to be doing like touring festivals and headline shows throughout the year. And yeah, that's kind of it. More cool videos are coming, all that. I don't know if you've seen the video for No One Dies from Love, but it's pretty epic. You have to watch it after this.
I most definitely will.
So sick.
I'm sure it's a chef's kiss.
It is a musical sci-fi love story. That's all I'll say.
Please don't do this to me right now.
You will probably cry a little bit.
Well, that's just who I am.
Yes.
Can I just say it was a pleasure seeing you again?
Yes, it was great to see you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
Anytime.